Hey everybody.
Hi.
Hey.
Yeah. Welcome back to the second installment of the 13 Nights of Halloween. Ba, 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 ba.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm Cece.
I'm Alex.
James. It was kind of a Mickey Mouse Club vibe there.
Yeah.
And
We
this
watch a
time
lot of
we're going to be talking about our favorite spooky shows, Halloween type shows.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, and me, I love horror movies, but I'm not a big Halloween show person.
Really?
So yeah, mine's pretty light, and not very scary. The scariest show that I like is American Horror Story, and it's one of those ones that I don't think has aged particularly well. Yeah, I said it,
Mhm.
but I think season two was really like the pinnacle. I
Oh.
didn't care much for the last few episodes of that season, but I thought it was really scary and just really worked on a lot of just really intense and dark themes without coming across as too edgy. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but the other two shows that I'm recommending are not scary at all. The first is I look forward to it every year, even if the Simpsons are having a bad season. I love Treehouse of Horror, and so I'm including that. And additionally, I love the old Twilight Zone, the black and white. I love the
Yes.
Mm.
twists. I love the turns. It's just something I thoroughly enjoy watching, and I highly recommend it.
It's just a classic. You
It
can't
is,
go wrong with like the old school Twilight Zone, especially with the
Mm-hmm.
intro.
yeah,
Like it's perfect.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All right.
Um, I had some as well. Haunting of Hill House, which
Mhm.
came out, man, I don't know if it was 1 or 2 years ago now. And it's on
Wow.
Netflix.
I was gonna say
And
2 months ago.
but it's a really excellent and like pretty terrifying show. A lot of people talked about how
Hmm.
scary it was. It's just really well made, though. One of my favorite aspects of it, though, is that in most shots inside of the haunted house, there's a ghost in a corner, sitting in a chair
Oh,
all
No.
the time.
that's
No.
And
brilliant.
it may not interact. It usually doesn't interact with anyone,
It's just
but
there.
it is one of my favorites. Is it keeps cutting to this lady. I think she's painting, no, or she's drawing or something. But there's a ghost, and it moves from seat to seat each time it cuts to her working
Oh
on
my
this thing.
gosh, I gotta check
It's,
it out then.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
No.
and most of the time they don't interact. There are some that do, but those are it's pretty. I really like it. And they just
Wow.
released a new season, The Haunting of Blythe Manor,
Yeah.
and it's completely unrelated.
You can watch that by yourself, Alex. Alex made me watch 2 episodes of Haunting of Hill House, and I was like, no, I'm
She
done.
tapped out. Yeah.
Yeah. Bye.
And then American Horror Story season one was, I thought, excellent. It's not really that scary, but it does make you a little nervous. Like you're like,
Mm.
I don't know what's happening. It throws a lot of twists and turns your way, which I really didn't expect.
Yeah.
I just think it's really well done. I
I
did not see the sequel season, Apocalypse.
Oh
So
no,
I
yeah,
don't.
I skipped that totally too. I
Uh,
watched half of Hotel, so yeah.
yeah, well, Apocalypse is the follow up to season one.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know there
Yeah,
were. Oh,
yeah, it's a direct
interesting.
sequel. It's the aftermath.
Mm.
And then Black Mirror is really excellent. That's a show I'm not even done with, but it is so like I could see this. I could totally see this, and that's what makes it terrifying.
Cool.
It's just really well done.
Yes. I agree with Black Mirror, but for my list, and I think that I'm sorry, you guys, like I've got the best list here. But number one, my favorite horror television show ever is Hannibal.
You're right.
It is so good. And I don't like scary things, so I think that's probably like I don't know. I don't know what that says about Hannibal. I don't like scary things. This is a very scary TV show, but it is very well done. It was one of those shows that when I watched it, I wanted to watch every single, like, I just wanted to watch it all, binge it. And who's the actor? Who's the key actor? What's
Mads
his name
Mikkelsen.
again? He's so good. He's so
Yes,
perfect in
he's
Hannibal.
excellent. It is one of my top 5 shows of all time.
Yeah. Very well written. Highly recommend if you haven't seen it already.
Hmm.
And then number 2 on my list is Stranger Things. I just like it a lot. It's a good show. It's not necessarily scary because again, I don't do scary things, but it has that kind of unknown paranormal aspect to it. So I do think it is a good show to watch during spooky season.
I think a lot of people would classify it as scary.
Yeah,
at
I think the
times.
Demogorgon's scary. And,
Yeah,
fun
that's true.
fact, you got a cameo in it, too.
You guys, I play dead female scientists. So reach out to me on Twitter if you want, or not on Twitter. Reach out to me on Instagram, 13th Floor Podcast, and I'll tell you what episode you can find me in. Or if you can find me and send me a screenshot of myself, maybe I'll give you a shout out on the show. So Stranger Things, I'm in season 2. That's your only hint.
And hey, if you can find me in season 2,
Alex is in
I'm
it
even
too.
harder to find.
Yeah, yeah. I got some pretty good screen time though.
I was
Very
a scientist.
exciting. And I got to work. Oh, well, I'm not going to tell you who I got to work with because that'd give it away immediately. Okay, so next on my list, and this is a very fun one, is What We Do in the Shadows, the TV show. And it is by far one of the best. I think that it might be up in my top 5 just because it's so funny and it's so creative. But
It's
I love that show. I love it.
Yes.
I recommend that show to like everybody because it is. Yes. It's very unique for a comedy.
Yes.
Yeah,
very
it's
dark Halloweenish comedy.
Yeah, a mockumentary about vampires who live in, was it Brooklyn or Staten Island? I think it's Staten Island.
Staten Island.
Yeah, but that is very, very good show. What We Do in the Shadows. And then last on my list, and Alex actually really likes this one too, is actually Scream Queens.
First season especially.
First season.
Is just really excellent. Season 2 is fun. But season 1 is
nothing beats season 1. Season 1 is so it's and like you hate the Chanels, but you also love the Chanels. And I think that Emma Roberts was perfect for that role. Mm-hmm. I cannot imagine anybody else playing Chanel.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Yes, if you want some good laughs, watch Scream Queens, watch What We Do in the Shadows, and then James, we had, because all together our lists kind of had a little bit of overlap when it came to like favorite Halloween horror spooky shows.
Big time.
So we just listed 10, but you guys, this is 13th floor, so we've got to list 13. So James has some honorable mentions.
Yeah. These are the 3 honorable mentions. They're a little bit, 2 of them are a little bit harder to find. And one of them is honorable because I've not watched it, and I don't think either of you have, but everybody else seems to have and loves it. Firstly, the 2 that are harder to find are The Addams Family and The Outer Limits. Great shows, and I'm talking, when I say Addams Family, I'm not talking about the animated series. I'm talking about the original, black and white. Really, it's just really funny, and you see a lot of precursors to like modern subcultures. Like you see like, oh, this is where goths come from, kind of stuff. And The Outer Limits is a lot like The Twilight Zone. It's not quite as good in my opinion, but it's still got a lot of like twist endings, and it's just a really cool show that I recommend. And lastly, the one that I don't think either of us have seen. None of the 3.
I've seen 4 seasons of it.
No way.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Snap. Well, okay. What's your verdict then on Supernatural?
Oh, it's excellent. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Everybody I know recommends it, but I did not know I didn't know we had a fan in the audience.
Yeah, it's not like top tier TV, but it's a lot of fun, and you get pretty invested in the characters. It was one of those shows I always intended to finish, and it's just so much.
Yeah, I got you. Good
a lot of
deal.
content.
But that sums up our 13 recommended spooky shows for Halloween.
Yeah.
We have run out of time. We have run out of content. This is the end. Goodbye. Like, share, subscribe.
Yes.